Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. You guys, the last time I posted, I was 25 years old, and fast forward to now, I am now 30 years old. But in between everything, there's been a lot of changes, and number one is in 2022, I gave my life to Christ. And that has been a journey. It's ongoing. I've learned a lot. It's a journey. It's an ever growing and ever going journey every day, but I'm so grateful for it. You guys, I published not one, but two children's books. And I'm excited for what God has for me. I'm excited for this new journey. I'm excited to come back to YouTube. And yeah, you guys, so I'm trying to think, what should I cover first? So why I left YouTube? To be honest, you guys, it was just a matter of shifting my perspective on things. Before getting baptized, I had already made up in my mind and in my heart what I wanted to do. And from there, like, the taste of my music started changing. The way I used to speak and the way I would respond to things, it started to change. When people around me that I love the most, they still, I love them with all my heart, but they were going in one direction. I was going in another direction. And I remember specifically shopping in Walmart for Christmas gifts. And I'll never forget, while everyone else was going to look for their own items, the number one thing I went for was my Bible. So I knew then, I was like, okay, something is shifting here and it's getting real. And ever since then, I've just embraced my journey. Not to say that being saved is not perfect. It will never be perfect. You're constantly dying to yourself every day, dying to your flesh. You're constantly surrendering things to Christ. Yes, things that you want to do in your own body. You're constantly laying that down every day. And I can make another video on that. But so far, so great. And of course, it doesn't come without its challenges. But something that I believe when I first got saved was, okay, once I get saved, I don't have to worry about going through any types of troubles, or at least I thought all my troubles would be gone once I get saved. But, that's not how life works. But yet and still, I'm holding on. And I'm just so grateful to still be here. As far as my children's books, one titled The Fear of the Red Lights, and at the end of this video, I'll be sure to leave that in the comment section below, or, leave a link for y'all. Y'all know what I mean. The first book, The Fear of Red Lights, came from a trauma based experience that happened when I was a child. And I briefly spoke on that when I was about, 23, 24 on my YouTube channel. If you look back at that video, you would see where I briefly discussed where I endured so much bullying from a teacher, where I had to be pulled out of that school and placed into a new school. And I remember this lady vividly telling me, y'all, it's so graphic to the point where I can remember what she wore. I can remember the tone of voice, the facial expressions, everything. But, God works everything out, doesn't he? I was told I'll never be anything. And so from that is how The Fear of Red Lights was birthed. And I'm grateful for that book. So many people, love that book. They've read it. Family, friends, colleagues, everybody loves that book. And my newest edition, that is behind me, you guys. My newest, Sparkling Spectrum. Those of you who do not know, I am a therapist, and I've been a therapist for some years now. And I work with children who have autism. And so this special baby right here came about from my journey of, just helping children grow and helping them become their best self and just learn how to go through life in the event, something happens to the caretaker. And even if nothing happens to the caretaker, my sole responsibility is to make sure the children are as independent and ever growing as possible. So this book came about from that. And both books you can find on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever books are sold. You can find both of those books. And again, I will make sure that I link those in the comment section somewhere for you guys. It feels surreal. Like, I never thought I would be back on YouTube. Honestly, I just thought about getting rid of all social media. And if you know, you know. For me personally, as I age, a lot of things don't really matter to me as it once did when I was a teenager or when I was in my younger 20s, or in my 20s. What do I mean, younger 20s? When I was in my 20s, a lot of things don't matter. So I once thought about just getting rid of all social media, but then I thought about, okay, how would people that support me, how can I stay connected to them without just completely shutting everybody out? But, here I am. I'm working on, trying to keep certain social media sites, but not all. And yeah, you guys, I have so much more to come. If y'all would like to see any more videos, just comment down below, I guess, and let me know. I do feel it feels a little funny being back, I'm not gonna lie, but again, here I am. And starting off strong, a little heavy, but it's necessary, especially for my black women out there, black and brown women out there. In between, back to the first video I made where I mentioned, of course, I thought once I got saved, everything would be okay. I would never have to go through any type of trials or sickness or anything. I thought, once I give my life to God, everything will go away. But little did I know, shortly after 2022 and 2023, I ended up having surgery. Well, it was a lengthy process that led up to this situation. However, but I ended up having surgery on my breast where things in regards to breast cancer, getting the gene test or genetic testing, finding out, where I stand with all those things. Shortly after I ended up having that surgery, and I'm so grateful for the community and my family, that I had as a support system through that time. That was awful. So ladies, if you realize that something is off with your body, speak up for yourself, like advocate for yourself. If you have to take your mom, if you have to take your cousins or a best friend, even a colleague, someone that you trust and someone that you know that will speak up for you on your behalf when you're going through things. Don't let people just write you off, tell you that you're making up stuff, or because it doesn't look a certain way, it's not what it is, or that it's not, it's not important enough to take action. Please do not fall for that. That is the biggest mistake. And y'all, when I tell y'all, if I'm being quite honest, when I first went for my genetic testing and everything of that sort, after everything was done, they did my blood work, they did everything, and the doctor actually comes in and tells me, oh, we want to do a hysterectomy. Mind you, I'm 27 at this time. And I'm like, I've never had, I never been married, didn't get a chance to have children yet. So what do you mean you want to do a hysterectomy? Absolutely not. But in that moment, because you don't know any better, I'm like, I said no. At first I accepted my fate, but at the same time, like once I thought about it on the car ride home, I'm like, no, we're not doing that. I broke down in the office. And I was like, we're not going to do that. Like, I didn't get a chance to create a family that, I want to, not yet, at that point. But it was just, it was a mess, y'all. It was a mess. The doctor that I had told me, knowing everything that she knows on paper, genetics, blood testing, all of that stuff, knowing what you know, you tell me, oh, don't come back to another 3 years. Another 3 years? Excuse me? So then once she realizes that she makes a mistake, or not a mistake, you made a choice out of negligence, you then call me to say, hey, I read your report and I just wanted to call and apologize and tell you can come back every 6 months to a year. And this is why, again, it's important to speak up for yourself. But me, the type of person I am, I'm very soft-spoken. I don't like confrontation. I like to live my life in peace. Like I don't have time for any types of foolishness. And at one point it would be to my own detriment where I'm just quiet. I just don't say anything because, again, excuse me, I don't like any type of foolishness. And I healed pretty well after that, but I still have to go back for mammograms and things of that sort, which has been, I can also do another video on that. It's been a journey, but nevertheless, like I made it through. I'm thriving, I'm healthy, I'm here, I'm breathing, And I've been, taking trips, picking up travel assignments, and just trying to be, also learning how to be alone. Because at one point in my life, I used to, I thought I needed company so bad. I thought I always, when I tell y'all it was so bad to the point where I would never even go inside of a grocery store if someone was not accompanying me. Not anymore. You can't go on Tuesday with me wherever I need to go if I offer for you to go. Like if I ask you and you can't go, I'll see you when I come back on Wednesday. If you can't go on Tuesday, like I'm no longer waiting. Time waits for no one, and learning to be by yourself, learning to be okay. Even when it came to children, I thought I'd be a mother and a wife at 25. It didn't happen that way, and I thank God that I did not get what I wanted when I thought I should have had it, because had it happened that way, I'd be divorced by now. I'll be a divorced single mother. And it's not to say, not to look down on anybody who's single, who's divorced, who has children. Nobody wakes up saying, hey, I want to be a single mother today, or hey, I want to raise these kids all by myself. I want to be divorced. Nobody wakes up thinking that. So before that takes a turn for the worse, I just want to let y'all know that by no means is that what I mean. But I'm just glad that everything happened the way that it did. And I made peace with God. Like, if you never grant me at that point in my life, if you never grant me the opportunity to become a wife and to become a mother, I'm okay with it. It doesn't take away the fact that God is still amazing. He's done amazing things in my life. He's, saved me from death many of times. There were so many times where I was on an operating table where he could have just called me home if he wanted to, and yet here I am, still alive, still breathing, still well, still have all my limbs. You get what I'm saying? So if that never happens, and I still get to cultivate a mother-like bond with the kids that I service each and every day, and that I have been for the past 10 plus years. So I'm forever grateful. And again, you guys, I have so much more that I can unpack, so much more I can talk about. If you have any topics you want me to talk about, anything you want me to uncover a little bit more for you within respectable boundaries, please shoot the topics to me, and I will make sure that I answer them to the best of my ability. And that is all for now, and I will see you guys in my next video.